Hello and welcome to Let's Play Skyrim. We are now in the middle of this volcanic rocky area and we're just heading to Eldergleam Sanctuary. You might ask, how on earth do I know where it is? Well, number one, I've played this game before, so I do know that it's in the middle of this plain. And secondly, of course, there's a quest marker that you get when you're with Vilja. Hang on, what's that in the background? Looks like a sorcerer fighting. Sorcerer's probably fighting an animal or a wolf. We'll head over closer to it to see what's going on. Yes, if you have Vilja, you do get quest markers that tell you exactly where you want to go. So it's not too difficult. Even though Vilja actually gives you very good directions on where you need to go, it's always good to check the map just to make sure you're going exactly where you should be. Sometimes the volume is a bit messed up or you're not paying attention at the time, so you do need those quest markers. It's not too much of a criticism saying that you do need to use the quest markers, because the actual original game that Bethesda made, you do need to use the quest markers all the time. Ow! Ow, it's a fire elemental. Okay, I should not stand in the way and get hit by fireballs. Let's heal ourselves up. Hopefully we'll get Vilja and Lydia to help me. I hide behind this tree, that's the cheapest tactic to do. Fireballs are actually really quick, I didn't know that. I'll get my bow out, we'll try to shoot arrows into it. Again, I don't know why wooden arrows at all would hurt a fire elemental. We'll give it a go.
You don't scare me!
Kill move coming up. Right in the boot. Why are all fire elementals female? Have you noticed that all vampires are female apart from the head ones? Apart from the top vampire, all vampires are female. All flame atronachs are female as well. It's very female centric, this game. Fire salt's always quite useful. What's this? It's a witch.
I'm glad that my mother cannot see me right now.
I'll take her black mage robes. They're worth 153. We'll be able to sell those for quite a lot of cash. It's worth its weight in gold, or even more than gold. I don't know where Lydia's gone. Eldergleam Sanctuary's around here somewhere anyway.
Have we got enough arrows?
About Eldergleam Sanctuary anyway, I was watching another Let's Play. There's this other user that I was watching his Let's Play on Arena, and he was going through one of the quests where you had to go and find the sanctuary of the first tree, and that was actually called the Elden Grove. That was set in Somerset Isles, and supposedly it was the birthplace of the elves and the birthplace of the first tree. It sounds suspiciously familiar when you hear of Eldergleam Sanctuary. I wonder if they fused together two areas of lore to make one. Lots of dragon tongues around here. They're useful for making into resist fire potions. I don't face too many fire elementals, and they don't actually damage me too much. It's the frost that damages me most. When you get enemies that can cast area of effect frost spells, then it becomes really difficult to avoid them all. Here it is, Eldergleam Sanctuary. Well, we'll have a chat in here to the NPCs. It's also where we need to go for not Lydia, for Vilja's quest.
Hey, look, a cave. Wonder what's inside.
But we can chat to a few NPCs in here, and they'll tell us a bit of the background behind the Eldergleam tree. That's the name of it, Eldergleam tree. Because that was the first tree apparently, and I think they've taken the lore of Arena and then they've just moved it up to Skyrim. I don't mind them doing this. At least they are using the lore. They are recycling the lore, and not just inventing lots of new stuff.
The Eldergleam Sanctuary. What a place! Now we must see if we can find someone to talk to. You will help me, won't you?
Vilja wants me to find an NPC who knows what to do with her bottle. Sure. There's a major quest associated with Eldergleam Sanctuary, not just Vilja. There is a point to this place. As you can see, it's really quite nice.
I never forget the first potion.
Really
I
nice
made.
for a cave.
It
It's
was
got the
supposed to
dungeon music
restore
playing in the
health,
background, so
but
it
the father almost
does
died.
sound like there's going to be a Draugr or a bandit jumping out at you, but there isn't. That NPC is a friendly NPC. He's just sitting down,
Hello there,
looking
friend.
at me.
Come to enjoy the sights and sounds
Nice
of this
waterfalls.
beautiful sanctuary. I have truly remarkable.
So this is a nice area in Skyrim. What's his name?
I think there are
Sam.
some very dangerous villages here.
No dialogue for him.
Welcome to
he's
Eldergleam
just a
Sanctuary, my friend.
Aesthetic.
If you have any
NPC.
questions, speak to Ast.
There's an arrow over his head. This looks like a villager type NPC. Unique dialogue as well. Easier. My friend needs help
Yes?
with a bottle.
I see. Maybe I should then speak to friend.
Okay. She's gonna have a chat
Goodbye.
with Vilja. We'll try to listen to this conversation.
The one who's to talk to me.
Yes, yes, you see, I have this bottle and a note, and my grandmother said that you might be able to help.
Maybe I can, but then we first have to talk alone. I wonder, do you think a friend would run a small firm faster than mine?
Yes, I hope so. I can ask, of course.
Good. This note needs to be delivered to the pilgrim Angelina, who is on visit at the mixed water mill. Please ask a friend to bring it to her.
Okay, I'm not sure if you've heard all that. But
Yes.
basically, Anicia said she wants to talk to Vilja in private.
Yes.
Look, I have a note for you. Could you please deliver it to Pilgrim
Yes.
Angelina, who is visiting the mixed water mill? Please.
Yes.
And Vilja has given me a mission.
I hope you won't have any problems finding Gillian at the mixed water mill.
I'm to go and
Yes.
deliver a note to a mill. What does the note say? I'll be under books. So I have to go and find Yelena. And it's just a note from Anicia saying I've examined all the flowers you suggested. Okay. So this sounds like some sort of ruse to get me away. What's this? Mystery of Talara. I think it's a speech book.
Yes.
Should we read it? Yeah, let's read it.
There are so many
Mystery of
books
Talara. She felt nothing. Pain surged through her leg. And okay, so it's about a woman who is almost drowned. She's hurt her leg, and she is about to die when she comes near a house. She cries out for help because she just makes it to shore, and an old woman who the lady met at the flower festival comes out. Fortunate for her. And that old lady says, I recognise you. You were at the flower festival. And decides to take her in, and fortunately she's a healer and heals the woman's leg, because there's a bit of a graphic description of the injury to her leg, but her leg gets healed and they have a chat together, and it turns out the old lady was Lady Julana's nursemaid, and Gina, I think that's the heroine's or narrator's name, says, yes, I remember these people. And I look a bit like Princess Talara, who I think is the head, well, it's who the book's about. Well, the old lady says the princess she was nursemaiding witnessed an assassination, and that assassination caused her to become mute and slightly mental. And I presume in that assassination, the Princess Talara was kidnapped or lost somehow, and Jaina seems to realise she may be that Princess Talara. So she decides, after finding out that she might be a princess, to head to Camlorn, where she can reclaim her throne. And along the way, she bumps into Lord Strail, and she decides to tell her what she's learnt. Well, that's the book. That was kind of badly read by me.
Read.
But I had to summarise that very quickly. I don't want to read it out for you, because it wouldn't sound very
Amazing
good.
that such beauty could exist in a place as desolate as the volcanic tundra.
Apparently, you can get
You
the
are in
Vilja to
Eldergleam
read books for
Sanctuary.
you, or the
Just a small
person
glimpse
who
of what
actually
beauty
made
Kinnared has to offer.
Vilja
Wonderful place,
has
isn't
actually
it?
read lots of books and packed them into MP3s.
Yes, my friend. Though
So
no one has
if
been
you
able
give her
to
the
get
right
close
book,
to her for as
you
long
can
as I
get
can remember.
the book read in her voice, which is probably
As you
a lot
can see,
nicer than my voice.
Eldergleam's roots are
Anyway,
large
speaking
and
to this
stretch far,
Asta woman, she
blocking
tells
any
you a
path
bit
to
about
her
the
track.
Eldergleam tree.
Though, believe it or not, there are rumors of a weapon that even Eldergleam herself would lift her roots for, more out of fear than respect. Oh, I don't believe those rumors, my friend.
She says there's...
Besides, who would ever want to harm
This is a
such
sanctuary
beauty?
for the Eldergleam tree.
Now, if you'll excuse
But no
me,
one
I
can
have
get up
nothing
to
more to
the
discuss.
Eldergleam tree because of the
I
big
encourage
roots
you
out
to
in
take
the
your
way.
time and
The
enjoy
only
yourself.
way to get the roots
You
out
look
of the
like you
way
could use the rest.
is a special weapon that she thinks is legendary. Of course, later on we find it's not. It's not legendary, and we can get to the Eldergleam tree. But why do we need to do that? I'm sure we'll find out later. We'll come back here another time. It's a bit of a trek, so I think if I come back here I might fast travel. We need to get to this mill. I'm considering going to Darkwater Crossing as well, because we need to deliver a note from that woman in Shaw's Stone. There's also Raven's Nest, which seems like a new modded location as well, and I want to check that out. I like that little modded village that we found last time. I know it wasn't particularly special. It didn't have anything, any quests or any new dialogue, but I like those little villages that give Skyrim a lot of life. Question mark is still pointing at the villager. What does she want me to do?
I hope you
Okay,
won't
she
have
still
any
wants me to go
problems
to the mill then.
finding me at the mixed water
So off I
mill.
go. Basically,
Yes.
this is an excuse to get rid of me. So this Eldergleam Sanctuary, anyway, it was a sanctuary that's made or blessed by Kinnared, who, as we've discussed before, is one of the Aedra, one of the good gods that donated themselves or tied themselves to the mortal world to make it better. Kinnereth is one of the favoured gods of the Nords, and that's pretty much why the Nords are known as Children of the Sky, because Kinnereth is the god of the air. I guess she's also god of nature as well, because air, nature, trees, everything like that. Anyway, she's made this holy place. And that's the first tree. I think that the lore has somewhat diverged from what it originally was supposed to be. There's Mixed Winter Mill. I think the lore has diverged slightly because if you think of this story of the first tree and the elves coming from the first tree, that sounds suspiciously like the lore, classic elf type lore. The same kind of lore that you'd get in The Lord of the Rings or another fantasy novel. Lots of fantasy novels, fantasy books tend to associate elves with trees. Elves always live in the forests, dwarves always live in the mountains, and it's a bit of a cliche. I'm not sure if the Elder Scrolls are trying to get away from that, because their game Arena was a bit cliched to start off with. I don't mind cliched. I think cliched is good in a way. You kind of have an air of familiarity. It's not that good to play in a completely alien universe. We don't want to jump down here. That looks like a massive cliff. However, my character can quite happily perch over rocks. It's a bit of a current. Luckily I'm a strong swimmer. Okay, we need another way around these rocks. This can be quite frustrating sometimes because you think you can get over it and you try for ages to keep jumping over it, but you can't. Combination of jump and running seems to work here though. Yeah, the lore seems to have slightly changed because rather than the legendary birthplace of the first tree being in an elvish territory, it's actually in Skyrim. Unless you consider perhaps the snow elves to be original elves. Of course, the story of the elves in Elder Scrolls is particularly interesting. There's lots of different types of elves. There's snow elves, there's high elves, there's wild elves, there's dark elves, wood elves. Orcs are supposed to be some other kind of mare or elf, if you like. There's supposed to be sea elves as well. Of course, we don't see those. I think elves are supposed to be the proto-humanoid, or anyway, a humanoid favoured by a certain god anyway, and men are supposed to come later. Anyway, this is the mill that we're looking for. This is the character we want to meet. Yelena. I have a note from Venetia.
Good, good. I have been waiting to hear from her. I dearly hope her work is proceeding well, and that she has found all the plants she needed. Oh, I found a copy of 100 Ways to Use a Falmer Ear for her at Hag's Cure in Markov. Maybe it could be a dear and bring it to her.
Her voice sounds strangely familiar.
Goodbye.
She's given us a book. Let's have a look what that book is. It's Falmer Ears. 100 Ways to Use a Falmer Ear by... That's it, Flala Hlali. Okay, this is an interesting book. Killing rats. Mix a Falmer Ear with a piece of rotten cheese. Causing pain. Heat up Falmer Ear and put it on your chest. Causing pain in others. Heat up a Falmer Ear and put it on your enemy's chest. Okay. Making cats attack themselves. Pour a crushed Falmer Ear mixed with glue over the cat, and the cat will instantly attack itself. Okay. Making love potions. Mix a Falmer Ear with a blue mountain flower and fresh wine. Pour the brew in your hair. Note that you should stay away from Falmer hives after doing so. 9. Curing colds. As decoration, nail the Falmer Ear into a piece of wooden plank. Nail the wooden plank to the wall. Enjoy. Okay. Listen through walls. Stick the Falmer Ear into your ear. Okay. As a table decoration, put a candle in the ear hole of a Falmer Ear and decorate the rest of the ear with red, blue and purple mountain flowers. Okay. Alright. For further suggestions, read my other book. Okay, brilliant book. I was sort of expecting there actually would be 100 ways, but I don't think the mod writer had enough patience to do that. Is this a new little town, I wonder? Gilfrey's house. That's not Yelena's house. So that character, that NPC is a new character. Obviously the voice acting is exactly the same as the character Hlali, who was in Oblivion, in the Oblivion Skyrim, Oblivion Vilja mod. I recognise her voice. I don't know who did the voice. I don't know if it's actually the same voice actress as did Vilja, because it sounds so fake. No one could speak like that. It sounds like my impersonation of a female voice. giant camp. Okay, we'll avoid that. We'll avoid them. We don't want to kill any more giants. I'm not sure about the origin of the giants. I think giants, well, some people say that giants actually are the real humans, the actual people from Atmora, and that all men used to be giants. But when they came to Tamriel, they started shrinking. I don't know where I read that from, but that was a piece of lore from somewhere, or someone wrote it on an Elder Scrolls discussion board somewhere. And I've taken that to, well, I don't like it. I don't like that piece of lore because I think that's unrealistic. I think it's unrealistic that the first humans were giants and then they suddenly shrank. Why would you shrink? Being absolutely huge like that would be a massive advantage when fighting against the elves. Although it does make you understand how Ysgramor and his 500 companions managed to beat the entire army of snow elves, if they were all giants. Okay, let's go back into Eldergleam. So perhaps giants are some sort of proto-human. They're certainly more related to humans than perhaps you would say that elves are. They're certainly not some sort of race of giant elf anyway. They're considered monsters in Daggerfall, of course. So maybe we'll stick as that. Maybe they are monsters. But Daggerfall had centaurs and other unusual beasts as well, which nothing else has been written about centaurs. I'm sure I'm going to have to sleep soon. Poor cat has been running around without any rest. So that means I'm going to become massively incumbent and massively slow very soon. Yep, here we are. I'm about to drop dead, says my little note. Should say drop dead of tiredness. So I need to speak to the new
It's so
NPC.
sad with all the
Give her that fantastic book of Thelma ears. Elena wants me to
Yes.
use the book.
Oh,
That's
but
such a
that
cool
is
grabbing
wonderful. I've been asking around for this
How do
book
they do
everywhere.
that?
Did you say Yelena found it at the Skyrim market? I've always heard that that's a very good store, and I believe the rumors right. And now you better go and talk to your friend. I think she has some interesting news for you.
Okay,
Goodbye.
so I've talked to her.
Oh, there you are. And you talked to Anesia, right? Good. Anesia and I also had a good talk while you were away. And you know what? She will help me with the bottle.
Right, so this kind of
But
villager type
She
quest
needs some
sounds very
ingredients
familiar.
in order to evaluate and restore what is hidden in that bottle. And she needs our help to collect those ingredients. So you will come with me then? Oh, how sweet of you. You know, I've so much enjoyed traveling here together with you. I'm so glad that we will continue to travel together a little longer. There is one thing though. As you are helping me, I of course want to help you too. I understand that of course also you have many important things to do. If I can be of any use for you, I'd be happy to help out. I just want you to know that. So if you just let me tag along, I'll look for the ingredients in the meanwhile. Of course, it would be great if you collected some of them. Actually, Anesia and I made lists of the ingredients. Maybe you could take care of this list and look around for the ingredients. It would be incredibly nice if you also carried the ingredients on the list until you have collected all of them. That will make things easier for me.
Okay, so this is a alchemy ingredient gathering quest. For people who are familiar with Vilja and Oblivion,
Yes?
pretty much had to do the same thing in Oblivion with her. You'd wander around, or Vilja would wander around with you, and periodically she'd say, I found a new ingredient.
Anytime.
You don't have to help
Yes.
her doing that, but in this one seems to be slightly different because you do actually need to gather these ingredients: 2 mammoth tusks, 2 mushrooms, 1 mud crab, 3 slaughterfish, 2 taproots, 1 small pearl, 2 fly amanita. I think I've got those already. I've got 1 mammoth tusk. Mud crab is quite easy to get. Slaughterfish, I can't remember where you get them, but that should be quite easy.